Today we'll be talking about another brain-dead YouTuber, Tanner Cook. I'm Rugburn.
And I'm Pickled Landed.
And this is Tombstone Tourist. So today, not talking about BK, although also brain-dead, we're talking about Tanner Cook and why he was shot in a mall for pranking a DoorDash driver. So Alan Colley, the DoorDash driver, minding his business, doing his thing, and if you don't know Tanner Cook's style of pranks, they're rather obnoxious. He does things where he tells people to watch their tone.
To lower your tone?
Why is that? Why is that?
Just watch your tone.
Excuse me?
Just watch your tone.
What do you mean watch our tone?
Oh, don't even look.
That's my brother.
What?
He was being polite. That is...
He does another one that's rather infamous where he pretends to be a Target employee and...
You're not allowed to video in here.
Sorry, I didn't.
Camera's off. You're not allowed to video in here.
I'm not understanding what's going on.
You are not allowed to video in here. What part of you are not allowed to video?
The middle part.
Have a nice day.
When do we come back tomorrow?
You and the bad hairdo. Out. Sir, I'm going to ask you to turn the camera. You know what? I will bust it right in your head.
He just... I don't even know how to describe it aside just obnoxious, and I would have zero patience for it. And I really do salute the people that have had the patience to deal with him, because Alan Colley probably would have had a similar reaction to me. He decided he was just going to shoot this man. He was not having Tanner Cook's trash at all.
I say this a lot, that this day and age, people have to work a lot in order to get what they need. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when you hear somebody's door dashing, that's usually their second job, sometimes their third job, which means you might have already been working that day. And so if you have some loser like this kid come up to you and just start playing games with you, yeah, like you're probably not in the best mood. You've probably been working. And to know that he's trying to make fun of you to get $1, yeah, man. I mean, it's easy to see why anybody would be violent.
Could you imagine you just finished your first job, you're off at 4 in the afternoon, say it's manual labor or retail, you've already been getting it all day.
Yeah.
This guy comes up to you, asks you something. You respond to him trying to be polite. You're still having respect. You're being humble. And he tells you...
You watch your tone?
I'm sorry?
Can you just watch your tone?
I don't understand what you're talking about.
You're coming off a little aggressive. Can you just watch your tone?
I'd be lit.
Yeah, no. The way that he does his pranks, because he brought up BK earlier. BK doesn't succeed. This dude succeeds a little bit better, but he does it in a way where you don't figure out that you're being pranked until about halfway through.
Yeah, he doesn't threaten violence like BK. However, he just lets the obnoxygen just flow.
The obnoxygen. I like that. I like that.
So, anyways, what was Alan Colley exactly charged with?
He was charged with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and discharging a firearm within a building. This happened in a mall.
Ultimately, Alan Colley should have walked away, although I do fear that maybe he tried to, and knowing Tanner Cook, he decided he was just going to follow him and continue his obnoxious act of whatever kind of prank he was doing with Google Translate. I can only imagine. I mean, Google Translate, maybe it was even somewhat of a racist prank. I don't know. That's all speculation on my part. Like maybe he's picking on dude, I don't know.
That's speculation. One thing we do know is that Alan asked him to leave him alone several times. So I think from that context, if I was, like I said, this is all conjecture. If I was a lawyer, that's where I would want to play my game at, is this guy didn't want you around him. He let you know that you've invaded his personal space. You continue to do so, and while I don't condone the use of gun violence to fix it, I can see where somebody got pushed into a place where either not necessarily scared, but you've had enough. You feel like you're being violated at this point.
Yeah, so for that reason, unfortunately, I cannot see Alan getting off of this. I do see him getting charged. However, they might be able to, depending on the lawyer and the situation and how the judge views it, if the judge is aware of how Tanner Cook is, which I imagine he would be informed. I could see them maybe lessening the charges or dropping the severity of the charges a little bit. But regardless, this is going to have long-lasting effects on him. He's missing out on money from being in jail. He's missing out on money because he's going to have to pay the lawyer. And not only that, if you're charged with a felony, that's something that is going to affect you for the rest of your life. If you don't get it deferred or if you don't get it dismissed, sealed, etc., it's something that's going to be a black cloud over you for the rest of your life.
And it's something that you didn't do to yourself. He was targeted.
Well, he did pull the trigger.
He pulled the trigger, but he never asked for the interaction. He was just trying to do his stuff.
That's true. And we never know. This man could have just been on his breaking points from being overworked and exhausted and just really had enough. You know, maybe he worked retail and he had just been complained at by customers all day. And this was just the final straw in that whole thing. And he just didn't know how to react accordingly to someone of the level of Tanner, where he's just going to keep bothering and poking the bear.
He should have beat his ass.
That would have been a more reasonable thing, I think. Although, I don't know. Maybe Alan Colley just wasn't a fighter and he just wanted to dismiss it. Who knows? Either way, he wasn't in the right, but nor was Tanner. And I'm not saying that Tanner deserved what happened, but you mess around, you're going to find out.
Absolutely.
It's only a matter of time till you pick the wrong one, and he picked the wrong one. Tanner was lucky enough to leave with his life, though. Hopefully he just learns from this, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at, and improves himself and maybe changes his YouTube content to something a little more respectable.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add on this subject?
Don't be a douchebag.
And with that being said, if you could go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, let us know what other things you'd like to see us cover in the future. What do you think? Do you think Tanner deserved to be shot? Did Alan Colley react too vile? I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below. I'm Rugburn.
And I'm Pickled Landon.
And this is Tombstone Tourist.